Assalamu alaikum, dear audience. Today we are here again for the public speaking hearing session held by Instant School. Today we have already have three speakers with us, and today we are gonna start with one of our renowned speaker. But before we start, I would like to clarify a few things. Instant School is a place where we do a lot of works, not only about subjective things, not only about learning, but also teaching and also mentoring. So here we have the branch named Instant School Public Speaking Club. If you haven't checked it yet, go to the Facebook, search it. You will find out a club named Instant School Public Speaking Club. So from that club, we are hosting hearing sessions in this website of in this page of Instant School, and we often do it in order to make people realize how to speak, in order to hear from people, to learn about their idea, to give our insights, what we can do, and we also will try to answer from the comment section. So, without any further delay, I would like to introduce myself. I am Tahmid Abdullah Tashfin from Mirjabu Cadet College. Today, we are here for the hearing session of public speaking, and today we have our speakers with us. So, without any further delay, I would ask our first speaker for today to introduce himself and also tell us his topic and his insights, and then go for the speech. But, sir, before you start your speech, remember, you can start your speech no matter whenever you want. I will be taking the count of the time. You don't have to worry. So, sir, please introduce yourself to us, Sir Shourab, and please tell us your title and the theme of the topic, and then you are ready to start.
Okay. Hello, I'm Mehdi Hassan Shorob from Dhaka, and I'm a second timer admission candidate. I passed my SSC in 2017 from Idle School and HSC in 2019 from Government Science College. Today, my today we are gathered here for our public speaking contest or hearing session. Uh, and my topic I chose to is If I Rule the World. If I Rule the World seems an interesting
Sir,
topic to me.
sir, before you
Yes,
start, I would request, do you have a stable internet connection? I mean, there is this problem in hearing because we can't hear you properly.
and sorry. Okay,
I believe it would be helpful if you bring that amplifier closer to your mouth so that we can hear you louder.
okay. If I rule the world, if I rule the world, I would make a proper democratic system where every people can express their opinion and feel free to live their lives. And if I rule the world, I make significant playgrounds for every child and teenagers so that they can play and enjoy sports. I would make everyone's life happy uh, and good. I would, if I rule the world, I would make uh, I would make if I rule the world, I would make primary education free and must for every children. I would make a lot of uh, lot of government uh, institutes and hostels for everyone and make sure that none can say that they couldn't read because they are poor. I would give my best importance in the youth development. I would uh, make uh, I would give newborn child has significant money so that he or she can establish him or herself uh, when he or she gets older. And I would, if I rule the world, I will give proper training to the teachers of every educational institution uh, so that they can learn the technique to give proper education to influence the students and uh, yeah, and discover their talents and their desires to make their life beautiful. If I rule the world, everyone would have a home of their own where they could live their life in peace. If I rule the world, I would not rule the world alone. If I rule the world, you would rule it too. Thank you everyone. This is all.
So time's up. Um, it is really saddening because the throughout the time I believe the voice was not audible, and that what happens in case of online competitions, that we often face this kind of issues with our internet. So I would request Shorov sir, if you can make your internet connection stable again. You might have the you might have we might entertain you the floor again after the session is over. After everyone is done speaking, then we might give you the floor again if you can gain a proper stable internet connection, sir. So for the timing, I would request you, if you're connected to a Wi-Fi, then maybe you can connect to mobile data so that you can actually have a more stable connection, or else you can change your room, do whatever you want. If you can again come with us and give a speech again, then I would request you to come to this session again and please give your speech. Whatsoever after the speech, on one thing I would like to review, because we did not hear many things, but what I heard is that in online competitions, what happened in the most of the times, we are inside a house for 1 year, but yet we need to understand that in online competition what matters most is our clarity. So when there is no clarity, we can't even hear you, so what's the point of even speaking? So that's the problem we all face. So, sir, if you can make your connection stable, then I would request you, please, sir, join us again. Did you get us, sir?
Yes, but I cannot help because I'm using Wi-Fi and I live in Bonosfield where the data mobile network is not even very good, and I cannot connect my mobile
Yes, sir.
data
We
at home.
get it. There was problem. We all witnessed it. Whatsoever, don't mind. You took the courage to speak, and that's a lot. So we believe next time we will see you again in this floor to give a speech clearly and audible enough. All right. With this, we would move on to the next speaker. Today we have Siam Molla bin Bachu with us. Sir, would you mind turning on your camera and joining us? Siam Molla bin Bachu, sir, are you there? Siam, sir. It would be really grateful if you just turn on your video. so that we can see you and see your hand gestures. Well, it seems really unfortunate today because we are having so much internet connection problems, technical difficulties, and whatnot. Without any further obstruction, we should move on to the next speaker so that the session moves the way it should. So, Miftul Jannat ma'am, are you there? As Siam sir cannot connect with us right now, it would be better if we move on to the next speaker. Miftul Jannat ma'am, are you there? Miftul Jannat ma'am, Miftul Jannat ma'am, are you there? Tehsina Haq ma'am. Oh, Miftul Jannat is there, I guess. Ma'am, can you please turn on your video? Yeah, ma'am. It would be really great if you introduce yourself to us and keep the camera in a distance so that we can see your hand movement, and then please to start your speech. Miftul Janat ma'am, are you there? Miftul Jannat ma'am, are you there? All right, it seems mm, all of us are having these technical difficulties. So I do believe that we do have Fazle Rabbi Rizwan sir with us. Sir, are you there? It would be really great if you just turn on your video and turn on your audio, unmute yourself, and yeah. So it would be really grateful. We'd be really grateful if you tell us the title of your speech, unmute yourself, and then go for your speech.
Assalamu alaikum to my dear audience. Firstly, I would like to thank Instant School Public Speaking Club for creating such a great platform for us to learn something or groom ourselves. Here I am MD Fazlur Rabbi Rizwan. I am from Jatiyo Kavi Kazi Nazrul Islam University, reading Computer Science and Engineering. Our today's hearing topic is about online education. We might know about it. It has become a common phenomena of our day-to-day life at present. All of we know, due to COVID-19 pandemic, our educational institutions are closed. So online educations are the only medium through which we can communicate with our teachers, and our teacher can communicate with us. I would like to quote Elite Mass's one sentence: we need to bring learning to people instead of people to learning. Online education is the best example for this. Online education is such a platform from which we can learn many topics from our interest, as there is no barrier or there is no difficulties for us. Online education has many merits. It has many benefits, but in the perspective of our country, there is also an opposite image. In many part of our country, there are many difficulties such as network problem or device problem. Moreover, if we can eradicate this kind of problems, we can gain a better result or best output from online education. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for your well-structured speech of 1 minute and 26 seconds. So before we move on to the next speaker, I would like to review a few things on this speech. So you might be thinking, your audience, that in the starting of this speech, he used that the topic is this, and I'm going to speak about this. That was the introduction, right? Well, thanks a lot for taking the courage for speaking for 90 seconds straight and a well-structured speech. We are really grateful for that. And coming to this floor, coming in live and speaking in front of many, many people, it's really hard. But there is always a scope to improve, right? So to improve yourself, I would suggest that you are starting your speech with a spoiler, not with a trailer, with a spoiler that your topic is online classes. Rather, you could have gone for the quote that you used that I really liked, because we often forget that this kind of quote, statistics, and testimony, these things give a different vibe from your speech. It makes us the vibe that you know. It makes us feel that the speaker who is speaking knows. And when you make us feel that you know, it makes the speech much more engaging. It gives a more value to the ethos or ethical part. Whatsoever, I would give a review on three parts about the structure. That I already said, the structure was well structured. There was introduction. There was this explanation that there is importance of online classes. There are also drawbacks, as you all also stated in the counter argument part, and you ended your speech in a smooth way. Yet, what you could do, you could use some story of yourself attending an online class, or how much difficulty you face just because of internet connection you couldn't even attend a class or even an exam, or even you could use an anecdote or a metaphor in your speech. So I am suggesting you to use stories, because stories would lengthen your speech and make it much more captivating. So it was indeed a good speech, but to make it a great one, you should use those rhetoric devices and those um, stories, anecdotes, elements that you can use in our speech. Thanks a lot, sir. Again, we hope that we would see you again in our platform with a better speech, with a better version of yourself. Best of luck, sir. So without any further delay, we will move on to the next speaker of ours. By the way, Miftul Janat ma'am, are you there? All right, there is a comment that I think she is getting makeup. So whatever it is, that's not our business. Maybe she might be facing some internet connection problems, so we would wait. Before that, I would like to call upon Siam Mullah bin Bachchu sir. Are you there? Siam Mullah bin Bachchu sir, are you there? No, it seems. Also, Mithul Janat ma'am is not there, but we have Tehsina Haq ma'am, as I can see. Ma'am, you are there, right? It would be
Yes,
really
I
great
am.
if, yeah. So, without any further delay, I would request you to introduce yourself and please tell us the title of your speech, and please go for the speech.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm Tesina Hawk from Nausat University, BBA department, and this is my first semester. I just finished my first semester. This is my second semester, and so the title, so the topic is online education, and what should be the titles? To be honest, I'm not prepared for this session, but If we talk about this, even a few days ago, if we couldn't even think about the fact that we will sit for online classes, sit for exams online, and submit our assignments, do our homeworks and everything online like this was unimaginable, and we never even imagined that we would come together, the connectivity would be like this. I enrolled into North South during this pandemic in the fall semester, so my entire university experience is online. I haven't even been to the physical classes yet. So as far as from my point of view, whatever I saw, that the experience isn't that bad. Obviously the professors and my course mates helped me a lot, my seniors helped me a lot, but the connectivity and how we got together was commendable. And even though everything is online, there are issues like internet problems, and not all of us can be present at all the time. When we attend physical classes, we allocate that day only for only one certain task. Like when we go to the university, we stay there, we attend classes, and our only purpose is to maintain our academic curriculums. But when we stay at home, it's not possible to focus on only one thing. The previous speaker, he was speaking, and there were lots of background noises, lots of disturbance. So that is also a hindrance. And also, not all of us, even though we're student and people expect us to be technologically upgraded, or expect us to know everything, but not all of us can operate properly either. So that is also another problem. And also the gadgets, not all of us have got stable Wi-Fi connection. Even my Wi-Fi connection was having, I was having trouble connecting a few moments back. I just got connected. And but there isn't much what should I say, positive thing to say about this online education platform, since it's not that interactive. And obviously we all crave for human affection and the real life experience. But still, this pandemic taught us that we can do things like the adaptivity. Situation makes us to do things. If not for this pandemic, I don't think that I would have learned so many things at a time. Like StreamYard was new to me. I did another event, only one another event in StreamYard, using this platform. Even I had no idea how to use Zoom, and also Google Classroom. Yeah, everything is new to me, and I think I've mastered a lot of things during this pandemic. How to download things, upload things, how to use different softwares, how to find ebooks and stuffs. And there are few positive things that we can say about online education. And that can be, right now we don't have to travel to universities. It's obviously time saving and hassle free. But also we can this during this
Time's
online
up.
classes. Yes, our research capability improved a lot. We don't only, sorry, I'm taking a few more minutes. We don't only, depend on the textbooks only. When we are, whenever teachers throw a question towards us, we look for different resources for that answer. So I think our research capability got really better. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I think I've taken a lot of time. Sorry.
Ma'am, was it an extempore speech?
Yes, for me
You
it
didn't
was.
prepare.
Yeah, no, I didn't prepare myself at all. I said what came to
Well,
my mind.
here in this platform, people are having problem making lengthening the speech for even seconds, and you were telling me at one point that I'm gonna take few more minutes. I was freaked out, to be very honest. What few more minutes?
Sorry if I bored you.
No, no,
There
no,
isn't
no.
much to
Of
say
course,
about
I'm gonna
online
review. I'm gonna
education.
review
Yeah,
it. I'm gonna
yeah,
review it. All
that
right.
would be better. Thank you.
it didn't do any of course. Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing I would suggest, it's not about the review. In case of, as you have learned so many things, I'm gonna give you a life hack. So when you're giving a speech, don't hold it right in front of your mouth. What happens when the air comes out from your lungs and comes out from your mouth? It makes this hissing sound within this microphone. So that actually obstructs the real voice that you're trying to speak, the real words. It obscures it. So try to ensure keep it a little bit there or here so that that air, the air that is coming out from your mouth, does not obstruct the voice, the words that you're trying to pronounce. Yeah. So that would be one of the informal review. The formal review, I would tell you, all right, it was an extempore speech. You spoke for 3 minutes 13 seconds, and it was natural. I really loved it. The part that I really loved was that most of the speaker lack this point. They speak like robot in a robotic way. They keep speaking, but in your speech, I found out that you were not speaking from there, but rather from there. It, I could feel the speech that you were recollecting the memories and then giving them form into sentences, and then you were speaking. So that was one of the best part. You were natural. Your voice efficiency was on point, and about the structure, I would say at one point your introduction was so much informal. That was not a problem yet. You started with your own story, and that was also good. That almost acted as an anecdote. But you gave some argument. Then you went for the bad sides. You went keep going for the bad sides. Then again you summed all of it up, went for the conclusion. But at the end of the conclusion, you brought a few points like what you learned in this pandemic, rather than how it enhanced online education. Nonetheless, you also mentioned about ebook. That also actually sums it up. So that's not a problem. What I would suggest in case of the structure, when you're making the structure, you did not make a structure, I know, but if you're gonna prepare a speech, so when you have time, prepare it in a way that it's smooth enough. You don't derive one more idea at the end of your speech while concluding it. So people might feel that he's just blabbering whatever comes in his mind or her mind. So now, I didn't think so. I knew it was extempore. So uh, yet, it was a great one. You spoke naturally. I would request all of the audience who are listening, please follow the way she is trying to speak. She is not trying to speak, rather connect with you the way she spoke. So follow the naturality, follow that confidence. Even without preparing anything, she could speak for 3.5 minutes. That's great. So, with this, I would like to end the review. I would take one or two more points from your speech in case of the overall review. So, with this, I would like to go for the next speaker. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for taking the courage. And I would like to see you again in this floor, not giving an extempore speech, but a prepared speech, a better one and the best one in this platform. So,
Yeah, thank you so much.
with this, all right. So with this, we'll move on to the next speaker, Nistul Janat, ma'am. Are you there?
Yes,
Ma'am, are you there?
yes, I am.
Finally. All right. So
Yeah.
we all know you. I have seen you 3 times right in front of me, counting this time. So would you like to introduce yourself and go to the speech?
Yeah, I'm Mifta Holchanand, student of Pogokaran Public School and College, and unfortunately, I'm a SSC candidate. So today our topic is online class. Online class is a platform that where we can know many things, but in this coronavirus season, we have planned our classes things in online. So maybe it is advantages for us, but it has some disadvantages also, because some guys are they name that they have online class, but they are in another in another part. Sometimes they use Facebook, or or they chatting with others, but uh, but they have to
Ma'am, did you get disconnected? Are you there? Ma'am, are you there? Miftul Janat, ma'am, are you there?
Sorry, I was disconnected.
Please continue your speech. All right. So it seems that she lost her connection, so we are not gonna wait till she comes. So I would just like to give a review in the meantime, because we don't have that much time. In 9:20, there would be a session, there would be a class on physics. So that would be starting in no time. So before the start, I would like to wrap up the whole session. So in the meantime, before she comes, I'm going to give a whole review about this, the whole session. So first of all, when we started this session, there were speakers facing technical difficulties. We had to start it a little bit later because there was technical difficulties. Yet again, we saw a few miracle speakers this time because I found two speakers, yet they were great. First of all, when there was Fazul Rabbi sir, I found out that his structure was on point. His naturality did lag a little bit because in a speech you know what to bring to make it natural. Give it the way you don't need to give the speech the way you do only, because yeah, then it's going to look as a natural storytelling. Yet in a speech you need intonation, then pauses, then sharp voice sometimes. It depends on the kind of speech you're going to give. So if you're going to use a humor, then there is going to be some silence before it, right? So there would be a punchline. So there is always a structuring of a speech. We didn't have that much of time, even if we saw in the natural vibe coming out from the speech of Tesina Hawk, most probably. Yet there is always a scope to improve yourself. Being yourself, like what I'm trying to say is that when you're gonna give a speech, be it online classes, be it whatever it is, remember one thing: the world is not made of articles, it's made of stories. So when you're gonna give a speech, bring out that story, use that story to give that speech. So when you are using that story, you need to form the sentences. Well, that's not a thing that is going to happen in one day, but you have to start forming the sentences the way you can derive the idea. If it's an emotional part, then you have to give some poetic, metaphoric words and a downslope intonation in your voice. If it's more like a revolutionary speech that, yeah, we're going to have a protest like in online classes, then there would be something like that. So that depends on what kind of speech you're trying to give. So as we have learned from those speakers today, one thing I would like to mention that I learned from Tesina Hawk and that I learned from Tesina Hawk is that about the voice efficiency. Today, if you're gonna learn something, remember the way she used those and pauses, like the way as if she was thinking. They did not seem awkward or disturbing at all. Why? Because sometimes when you use or thinking in a way that it makes you look natural more than it would ever do, that's when you're also successful as a speaker. Those irritating voices are also successful. because they also give a natural vibe in your speech. That's when you can feel the speech from the core. Nevertheless, as I was talking about those voice efficiency, she used intonation, she had enough pauses. Even the time you're going to think about it can work as a pause. But remember, before a pause, you need to give your voice a bit of lower, calm form so that it feels like there is going to be a pause. And after a pause, is going to be another new chapter or a new punchline. So when you start realizing each and every single part of your speech, how you use it, how you're going to deliver it, so that's when you are successful while making a speech. Be it an extempore speech, be it a prepared speech. You have to remember when you're giving a speech, you have to feel it from inside. Because if it's about online classes, also we heard about the introduction of Miftul Jannat ma'am today. In that introduction, we found out that she used that I am unfortunately an SC candidate. So you could also, any of the speakers could also start with that kind of starting that I hate online education. That would give a jolt, a shock to the audience that what is she trying to say? We hate it because we are SSC candidate. We don't know when our SSC is going to be. So that's where the irony lies of a speech. So if you can use that irony of your own story in your speech, that's when the audience can connect to you. That's when I was smiling throughout the speech of Tesina ma'am, because I could relate to it. The way I used my own pandemic, the way all my education harmed me and healed me all at the same time. So that's how speeches are formed. So we won't take too much time. We already have arrived to our ending period. So before we end this hearing session, all I'd like to do is leave a message to all the speakers who were there today. Remember to even utter a one word coming to a Facebook Live in front of many audience. Even your teachers or even your crushes are gonna see this video. It takes courage, a lot of courage. So as you have this courage to speak up, next time I do believe you all will be there coming to this same platform, giving the speech better than the last one. Because when you keep trying and trying, remember one motto: try and fail, but never fail to try. So, with this, I would like to draw the closure of today's session. Next time, we're going to have another hearing session soon enough. Till then, goodbye. Best of luck. Keep practicing, keep trying, and keep speaking from the core of your heart. Thank you.